Welcome back everybody to Susie's Sweet Treats. Today we're going to make chocolate chip Nutella stuffed cookies. It was a request by one of my kids, so they picked out the chips. This one, it's got milk chocolate and semi-sweet chocolate. And this one is the Andes Mint chip cookie. So join me in the baking and let's go have some fun. Okay everybody, so we're back. Welcome back. We're going to make some chocolate chip stuffed Nutella cookies. And I let my child pick out what chocolate chips to use, and she also picked out these Andes Mints for one of the batches. So we're going to make a batch of the Andes Mints just using the basic recipe off of the package. So in that, it's a half a stick, or one stick, half a cup of softened butter. And this is all getting mixed together. It's 2 teaspoons of vanilla, a half a cup of white sugar, 3/4 cup of brown sugar. We do 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1 teaspoon of baking powder. And then 2 eggs. Goes the eggs. And we're going to just go ahead and get this mixed up, and then we'll be right back to finish up the rest of the ingredients. Okay, now that that's nice and mixed, we're going to go ahead and add in the mint chips. And that's 1 package. We're going to add in the flour, and the flour is 2 2/3 cup. So we'll go ahead and put that all in. Let's go ahead and scrape the sides of the bowl to get all the stuff incorporated. And then we're going to start off on slow speed so we don't send the flour flying. So now that this one is mixed up, we're going to go ahead and put this in the refrigerator to let it chill. And that way it's a little bit easier to handle, and the cookies will form better. And then, while this is chilling, we're going to go ahead and make the chocolate chip dough. So just bear with me. I'll run to the refrigerator, put this in, and I'll be right back. So we're back. We're going to make the chocolate chip dough now, and we're actually going to double this dough so that we have enough dough to wrap our Nutella balls. This calls for 1 cup of salted butter that's been softened, and since we're doubling it, we'll be using 2 cups of butter. 2 cups of butter. Okay. And then we're going to add our sugars. So it's 1 cup of white sugar, so that's 2 cups. And then same thing with the brown sugar. It's 1 cup of brown sugar, so 2 cups. And we're going to cream this together. Scraped on the sides. And now we're going to add our eggs and our vanilla. So it calls for 2 teaspoons of vanilla. So I have 4 here. And it calls for 2 eggs. So I have 4. And of course, just like any other chocolate chip recipe that I use, I always add in a package of vanilla instant pudding mix dry. It just gives the cookie a little tight when they bake and they don't spread. So we're going to go ahead and mix this until the ingredients are combined and it's light in color. Now that's light in color, and we're going to go ahead and add in our dry ingredients. Scrape the bowl a little. Okay. And for our dry ingredients, we're using baking soda, baking powder. So baking powder, we're only using a half a teaspoon for 1 batch, so we're using 1 whole teaspoon for the double batch. And for the baking soda, it's 1 teaspoon of baking soda, so we will be using 2 teaspoons of baking soda. And then it calls for 1 teaspoon of salt. So that's 2 teaspoons of salt. And then a total of 3 cups of flour, but because we doubled the batch, it's actually 6 cups of flour. Now with the flour, we're going to add it in a little bit at a time, so we're not making a big mess with the flour mix. So we'll go ahead and start getting the flour incorporated. scrape down the sides a little. Make sure it's all incorporated. Now with that scraped down, we're going to add our chocolate chips. And for this, we're going to use a mix of chocolate chips. We're going to do milk chocolate and semi-sweet. So we'll go ahead and get the chips added in. Oh, and these are mini chocolate chips. Let's go ahead and get this mixed. Chips are all mixed in. We're going to go ahead and grab our Nutella out of the freezer now that they've been frozen into balls, and we'll go ahead and get the cookies formed. We'll grab the Andes Mint batter dough out of the refrigerator, and we'll get them all made up. Okay, so we're making chocolate chip Nutella stuffed cookies today. So I took the Nutella, used my cookie scoop, the small one, and made globs, balls, dropped it on a cookie sheet, and I put it in the freezer until they're hard. So the Nutella is relatively hard now. It is a little wet now that it's been sitting out. And from here we're going to take our cookie batter dough and we're going to wrap the Nutella pieces with the dough. I've never made these before, so we're going to take a good sized amount of dough because we want to be able to cover the Nutella completely. We're going to flatten out the dough, take a piece of the Nutella, and we're going to wrap the cookie dough around. Forming it into a ball, and we'll place it on the cookie sheet. And we'll continue doing this with the dough until we've used all of our Nutella. And this is the mint, the Andes Mint dough. So we'll probably do half of them in the Andes Mint, and then we'll do the other half in the chocolate chip. And this one may need a little bit more. Oh, there it goes. Just to make sure that we get complete coverage. Like I said, I've never made them before this big, so we'll spread them out. The oven is preheated to 375. And they're going to go in the oven maybe 8-10 minutes. We'll start with that. We'll see how they go. We want them to where they're just starting to turn brown. Try to relatively make them all about the same size so that they all cook the same. We could probably fit maybe 3 more on this cookie sheet. Let's move these up just a little. One more right here. All right, so that's our first batch of cookie dough that we've got together, that we've stuffed. We're going to go ahead and get these in the oven. We're going to let them bake. When we come back, I'll let you know how long they actually baked for. Again, the oven's preheated to 375. We're going to start with 8 minutes to begin with, and then we'll go from there. While we're waiting for this batch to bake, I'm going to go ahead and continue wrapping my Nutella with the dough that I have left. And that way we can just get them in and out of the oven that much quicker. So we'll be right back. Okay, the cookies just came out of the oven. It took 13 minutes for them to bake to get this lovely golden brown. We're going to let them cool on the cookie sheet for just a minute or two, and then we'll go ahead and transfer them over to the wire rack to let them finish cooling. So let's finish baking, and then we'll come back and we'll break into a cookie and see how they turned out. Everybody, all of the cookies are done baking. They're all cool, can be touched. Let's go ahead and look and see what the Nutella stuffed chocolate chip cookie looks like. That looks absolutely amazing. Got the Nutella in there. The cookie, it broke, it's soft. Crispy on the outside, chewy on the inside, just like a good chocolate chip cookie should be. If you want to see more recipes like this, subscribe to my channel. Hit the like button. Give me a comment. Let me know what else you'd like to see baked or cooked. I can cook a meal. But again, thanks for coming along on this journey of making a cookie that I've never made before. A chocolate chip Nutella stuffed cookie. Thanks.